Along with Devin Patterson, another wide receiver from Mesquite, Texas. 6 foot again. Not very many little guys. 6 foot, 180, carries a 3.1 grade point. All district, heavily recruited by Colorado, Kansas, and Missouri. Was in our camp. They didn't throw a lot at Mesquite High School, so he didn't have a lot of records and stuff. But man, the guy runs great routes, and I know he's a player. Another kid that was in our camp, Michael Pickett, played wide receiver in high school. Mike is 6'1", 195, maybe 200 pounds. Great looking kid, over 3-point grade point. And as a senior, he played wide receiver. But in our camp and his junior tape, he was a safety, and we loved him in the camp as a safety. And so he's going to come in and play safety for us. Another safety that was in our camp and ran a 4.35 in our camp is Cameron Richards. He's 6'2", 190. Both of these guys are about the same size, Pickett and Cameron. Big, strong, good-sized athletes. MVP of every camp that he went to this summer. Best DB in the next level athletic camp. Ranked in the top 25 in the Nike Combine. And really good kid at a 3.5 grade point. Tron Roberson from DeSoto, another fine athlete from DeSoto. And Tron truly is a great athlete. He's a 100-yard dash champion in their district. He's first team. He ran a 4.3 in our camp. Again, he's not little. He's 5'11", 180 pounds. And he has a 3.7 grade point. Again, DeSoto High School is putting out some great prospects. We're in there recruiting hard, and that gives us 3 on our team right now. And this guy is going to be a big-time player for us. Blake Snyder, offensive lineman, another tall tree that was in our camp from Texas. He's 6'6", 290 pounds. He also has over a 3-point in the Texas Dave Campbell top 300. 4-year starter at offensive tackle. First team All-State offense and defense. First team All-State by the Rogers Recruiting Report, or the Triple R, however you want to put it. Just kind of threw that in right over your head. Next, Eric Tomlinson, tight end. Also played defensive end in high school. 6'6", 220-pound tight end from Klein High School, or defensive end. Again, 3.5 student. Blake Snyder, the last kid I talked about, is over 3-point also. Top 100 player in Houston, and a 3-star recruit according to Rivals.com. Another quarterback, Malcolm Trail, 6'2", 180, wide receiver in our camp. Man, this guy is a good-looking athlete. A good student, great kid, and can run. He's going to be a really, really good wide receiver. He could be a defensive back, I guess, also, but we're recruiting him as a wide receiver, not a quarterback or DB. Darius Tubbs, another outstanding receiver. See how big these guys are? Tubbs is 6'4", 215 pounds, out of Houston, Texas. Dave Campbell's top 300, selected as the 100 top player in Houston. Big, strong receiver that catches the long ball. He's unstoppable from the 10-yard line in. You throw those lobs to him, and he just kills people with it. The next guy is real important to our program. We really needed to do something here. We lost both our kickers and our punters this season, with the loss of Logan Barrett, Kyle Peterson, and Greg Hyatt. So it's going to give an opportunity for our walk-ons locally here to compete for the job this spring. But we recruited Dakota Warren. He went to Henderson State out of high school. He's from Austin, Texas. And then he went to Ventura. He's one of the top kickoff performers in the country in 2008 before redshirting last year. Okay, again, we had a couple. This year is the first time we brought any high school players in January. So we have 2 kids that came in January that were high school players. Cooper Brock from Copper's Cove and Quentin Jones, a big, highly recruited defensive nose guard out of Columbus, Ohio. 6 foot, 330-pound defensive nose guard that's very similar to Marcus Bagley. Those 2 guys inside are going to be our top freshman defensive linemen at the nose guard or tackle position inside. So they're going to get a real shot next year playing early. But the thing that's good about Quentin is that he's here right now and able to be on campus to work out and get in shape. He's recovering from a knee injury, which all the Big Ten schools dropped him once he hurt his knee, but his knee's going to be fine. He's recovering great, and so he's on campus, and he'll be around all spring, and he'll be with this freshman class next year. Very good student, too. Okay, questions?
What's the situation with Logan Barrett and Greg Hyatt? They just transfer out? Not Hyatt, Peterson.
Peterson and Logan were let go, yes. They will not be on the team next year.
Does this class signal maybe a change of philosophies to becoming less of a finesse team and more of a power team?
Boy, I hope so. I hope it does. Will this team be more of a power team than less of a finesse team? The size indicates that, doesn't it, Brett? Yeah, the size and the strength. And when you got these guys that are 300 pounds, you know, they're bench pressing, they're all bench pressing 400 pounds. So we got strong, big guys. Which means, again,
in a sense, is this spring going to be like a couple springs ago when you really didn't have a kicker before Jose got here?
well, I think it's going to be a chance for Mike Scott and Kevin Lopez and those guys to get a chance to kick. And we've got a walk-on punter who's a great kid that's going to have an opportunity.
Who was maybe your surprise this morning, like a nice surprise that you didn't think you were going to
Didn't
get?
have a nice surprise, I don't think. I think Nick Martin, the last offensive lineman that we had this weekend, was the last kid that really committed to us when we weren't sure if he was going to come or not. So there were no surprises today. Everything went smooth. We filled all the holes and gaps that we had, and very, very well. And so I think we're ready for a solid performance. And you know, we're going to have by the time we get done, we're going to have at least 25 guys who are going to be in, you know, helping this team next year to get us where we need to be. Our players have a tremendous work attitude right now. Saturday I was up here with the recruits, and we probably had 50 guys on the field working out on their own.
Who can play next year for this group?
Who can play next year? Well, you never know. It's going to depend on injuries and everything else, but I think you got to look at those two tackles. Maybe a couple of the defensive backs, the corners. All the receivers that we recruited are going to be talented enough to play next year. If they don't, we can redshirt because we graduate 4 receivers anyway. So we're going to need receivers in a year from now. So this class really is the best class we've had. It's the smartest class we've had. It's the biggest class we've had. And it's a class that you're going to be able to build off of. And they'll be really future players. You know, it's going to be tough for an offensive lineman to play. We've got 6 offensive linemen coming back. 5 of them started for us last year, so they come and maybe play and then work into a position where they can play their sophomore year. But it'll be tough to break that, crack that lineup. It's going to be tough for a kid from Caldwell Mills to break our running back with Donald Buckram. And tough for J.V. Hall to step in at quarterback, but a great situation where he can sit back and redshirt and watch Trevor and learn from Trevor, and then step in and play for us.